Hey, internet homies, this is Nico, your DM for A Fool's Quest, and this is our Season 3 kickoff episode. Let's dive into this first by saying thank you for listening to our show. You are the absolute bomb diggity. We love you. And because we love you, I'm going to warn you right up front that this episode is packed full of spoilers. So if you have not caught up on Season 1 and Season 2, and you want to go catch up on Season 1 and Season 2, then I strongly recommend stopping this one right now and going back and listening, because, yeah, spoilers. Alright, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about what is in this episode. First thing first, we are going to do our part to give back to the tabletop role-playing game community by dropping a promo in for a show that I absolutely love, so I'm excited for you guys to hear that. Second, we're going to do a Season 1, Season 2 quick recap along with a pretty cool roleplay that features a special guest. And after that, I will drop a knowledge bomb on you guys with what changes to expect in Season 3, so be prepared. Alright, well, buckle your seatbelt or your, pants belt or anything else that you can find around you to buckle. Just buckle up and get ready, because here we go.
Hello and welcome to St. Fleur, where the city is modern, the fantasy is urban, and the faction politics are at an all-time high. Join us in Shadows of St. Fleur as we follow the wizard, Alistair Lockwood.
Regret to inform you, I'm not a wizard. I am a master of the arcane arts.
The scholar, Jeremiah Roderick Crawford.
I'm an earl, you know, and you're a baron. Those words carry some weight.
The wolf, Victor Margaret.
Victor stands on the bridge in the cold. Fuck.
The fae who is known only as Silk.
Do we know if this was a standard mugging?
And the vamp, Alex Giroux.
Quite, because the first time the door opens, I'm going to push her out.
Through their experience in the city. Shadows of St. Fleur is an Urban Shadows actual play podcast with a majority LGBTQ+ cast playing characters finding their way through faction politics, all in pursuit of their own individual goals. Find it wherever you listen to podcasts.
And I'm back. And honestly, I had to add this song into this bonus episode because I know we're only a couple days after Season 2 ended, but I'm already feeling nostalgic for the Season 2 opener. Am I right? Anyway, definitely go check out Shadows of St. Fleur. They are absolutely amazing. Go support them. Give them some love. They're quite a bit different from A Fool's Quest, which is totally cool because you don't want to keep listening to shows like mine. Because I don't know why not. Just go listen to them. They're awesome. I also want to name drop my good friend over at Homebrew5e. You can find them on Twitter at Homebrew5e. It is just a bunch of amazing D&D 5th edition content. There are all sorts of classes, spells, magic items. I strongly recommend checking them out, reaching out to them. They do commission pieces for magic items, or for NPCs, or for subclasses. Absolutely love it. Absolutely an amazing member of the community. Go check them out as well. Okay, I promised you guys a pretty awesome role play after the Season 1 and 2 recap, so I guess we better get to it. You can unbuckle your seatbelts now and, do something else to get ready for the next part. I don't know what else, but you can do something. I'll think about it. After months of travel, fighting, fierce victories, and the devastating loss of his steward Macy, Malphaedor Bromroyo, the Azamar Paladin, finally kicks off his metal boots. Freshly bathed and belly full, Mal lays down in his new room at the Gagme Barracks. The walls are still a bit bare. There's no lavish rug or comfy armchair in his room, as would fit his typical privileged nature, but it is his room. Thinking back, it has been quite some time since Malphaedor has truly been alone. Since joining the ranks of Gagme, all of his time was spent with his fellow recruits or other adventurers. He began this journey with 3 other mandatory recruits from the Global Adventurers Guild Master Enterprises, also known as Gagme. When he arrived at the barracks in Cheddar, he was assigned a bunk in a room with 3 other adventurers. A turtle named Michelangelo, a dwarven brewmaster named Ingval Porter Altbeer, and Tarek Caesar. During his initiation trials, Malphaedor met several new allies from the guild as well. Mason Munster, Charles Edward Cheese, Mariana the Ranger, Kistra the Necromancer, and Chef Lactose all act as Gagme leadership for the Cheddar Division and helped guide the new recruits through the trials. Tim Hobbleleg and Terry Brokenmere are two recruits that gained guild membership alongside Mal and his team, although they seem to have a much more difficult time completing the trials than what the Fools do. Mal also met new contacts outside the guild, such as the staff at Mike's Tavern, which include Large Marge, who cooks, and Not Mike, who is the establishment owner. Although the Fools were ultimately successful, they did not make it through the trials unscathed. Tarek Caesar was assassinated in the streets of Cheddar, something very unheard of within a capital city. A villain named Whispers confronted them during one of their missions, only to teleport away before they could capture him, and Mal specifically had a terrible run-in with a blue dragon wormling. While the trials were difficult, the true test came after the Fools completed their initiation and became full members. On their very first mission as full guild members, the group was again confronted by Whispers, but this time he was not alone. The wizard Whispers was accompanied by his master, an ex-Gagme member named Duché, as well as Duché's other two lieutenants, Carl and Temple. As soon as the fighting began, Ingvald and Malphaedor were teleported to another world where they met a tabaxi named Hobbs and his dog Kevin. When finally the teleportation spell lapsed, the Fools returned to their home world of Euphrae just to find out that somehow Duché and his lieutenants had killed Mason Munster, Michelangelo, and several others, and the villains were now gone. Mal and Ingvald decided to continue on their mission to speak with the Gagme leader of the western region, an elf named Emiaril Questslinger. From his stronghold in the Tavir jungle, Emiaril tasked the Fools with tracking down the villain Whispers at the Meraxi Tower and clearing the tower out along with the monstrosities that had been collected there. Along the way, Mal recruited an orphan teenage girl named Macy to act as his ward. The group was also joined by a warlock named Urk Strata, who they met while they were on board a ship called the Sea Lab. During their travel, the Fools also recovered a magical amulet that acted as a raw version of the teleportation spell that Duché used on them. Using the magic words, potato salad, the amulet creates a portal that allows the heroes to travel to another world. Mal also found his own magic item, a horned helm that can potentially give him additional courage each day. After a long, arduous journey, the Fools finally reached Meraxi's tower, and floor by floor eliminated the evil creatures that Whispers had collected. The heroes were able to complete their mission, but at a grave cost. Both Macy and Urk lost their lives in the tower. The death of Macy triggered something darker in Malphaedor. From deep down in the depths of his soul, a darkness was unleashed in the Aasimar Paladin. Upon defeating Whispers in the tower, a new, more terrifying event happened. One of the portals that allowed teleportation opened, but this one did not close. This portal specifically linked the Meraxi Tower back to Mike's dive in Cheddar, and now was permanently open. Malphaedor, exhausted and transformed, still had one thing to do before he could rest. Accompanied by Ingvald, he carried the ashes of Macy back to her hometown for a proper burial. While Macy was an orphan, it only seemed right for her to rest in the place of her family. So now, for the first time in what seems like months, the Oathbreaker, the fallen Aasimar Paladin, Malphaedor of Gagme, is finally alone. His paladin suit of armor rests carefully assembled on a standing mannequin, except the final piece. The magic helm that he had found while on his journey now sits on his lap. Malphaedor finishes wiping the last bits of polish from the metal helm before holding it out for one final inspection. Feeling simultaneously pleased and exhausted from his hard work, he makes his way across the room and sets the helm on the head of the mannequin before extinguishing his light spell and crawling into his warm, inviting bed.
You're welcome.
What the hell? Who is that?
Oh boy, don't act like you don't know who I am. I said you're welcome.
Okay. I hear several voices in my head. I don't recognize you. Who are you?
There's only one voice that helps you win these battles, boy.
Is it you?
You don't do it alone.
Helmet? Wow. Huh. I knew there was something curious and special about this home. How come you haven't talked to me before?
Because you take your time doing what you need to do, especially when it comes to getting yourself acquainted with how to get me activated.
So it just took some time then. Interesting.
And I will say that while you have taken your time, it is time for us now to begin talking about how you're going to repay your debt to me for all the things I have done for you. Especially making you look good.
Repay a debt, huh? Oh, I get it. The heroic heroism effect. It comes at a cost, doesn't it?
Yes, usually you can start by repaying your debt by saying, thank you.
Well, in that case, I will begin by saying thank you very much.
Well, that's not enough, but we'll start there.
Oh, as a start, yes. So, going forward, what are we talking as far as payment?
You may call me Your Majesty, you may call me Sir Helmet, but also I have a penchant for stories. Very remarkable stories of great trials that are overcome by such heroes. This is why I give you heroism, if you will. So yes, that's what I require. A formal title and a really good story.
Okay. Oh, Sir Helmet. I think I can accommodate your wish. So if it's of a story you wish, then a story you shall have.
Now, mind you that if the story is not good enough, there will be consequences, if you will.
Consequences. That sounds rather ominous.
Oh, well, we'll visit upon that later when the time fits itself.
So, what, shall I regale you with a tale right away, or would you care to wait for the morrow?
Well, you've been given quite a little bit of time, so yes, a story now would be great.
All right. Well, let me tell you the tale of a young boy born into a family of wealth and influence, and whose heritage was touched by celestials. Sound interesting?
It sounds precarious. Continue.
Yes. With an ancestry touched by celestials. As such, his soul burned brighter than those around him, and he was looked upon with reverence and privilege. Much like you'd like to be viewed, I assume.
Oh yes, but none shine as bright as I. Continue.
Well, his father sought for him to become a great warrior priest of Greyhawk, a paladin champion of all things good and lawful. And the clergy in the city did their best to guide the young man in the way he should go. But he was an adventurous boy. Something within him was always curious and longing for thrill and adventure. Maybe it was the celestial within him, strong spirit, wild and free. Well, one morning he went exploring in the caves beneath his father's estate. And he was tromping through these caverns for several hours when something unusual caught his attention.
Yes, unusual.
A whisper.
A whisper.
Faint, but clear. This way. Curious, and delving deeper into the caves, he discovered an old, long-forgotten temple. Searching around, he stumbled upon a book, ancient and musty and bound in an unusual type of leather. As he looked at it, he heard the whisper again. Read. Now, if you're a young boy with an insatiable curiosity and a hunger for adventure like this kid, then you have no other option. He opened the book, and even though he'd never actually seen the language, he understood. Page after page, a story unfolded of dark times and old gods when the elves and the dragons were still young to the world, of terrible evils who waged endless wars amongst themselves throughout the infernal realms. And that's when it happened. This young boy howled out in pain, dropping the book as he cringed into a ball racked with pain. Every fiber of his being felt like it was being singed with flame, and his screams echoed throughout the caverns around him. He heard the whisper again. Oh, what fun we're going to have. Before losing consciousness there on the cold, dark cavern floor. Well, Well, the men sent by the boy's father were already searching the caves when they heard his screams and yells in the dark. The boy had barely collapsed and fell on the ground when they found him. They gathered him up and returned him to the plush surroundings of his estate. But his golden hair had turned from gold to black as pitch, and for years his dreams were haunted by nightmarish scenes of places he'd never been, images of brutality and terror that would wake him up in a cold sweat. Something had changed inside him. Where once there was that burning light, only a hollow darkness remained. As he grew older, he would spend many hours staring into that unknown abyss of his soul. But when you stare into the darkness long enough, you realize that there's something or someone staring back at you. How's that for a tale?
Oh, a most riveting tale, if I must say so myself.
Well, just to let you know, the young boy in the story was myself. It was an incident that happened when I was very young.
That makes it even more remarkable, yes. That's why I'm here. I'm here to help you.
I look forward to us working together.
Well, it's more so me guiding you. But continue.
Fair enough. Yes, many good things to come. I can see it. This is going to be quite fun indeed.
And like I said, you're welcome.
Yes, and thank you again.
I wanted to do the evil laugh too. So, I did. Anyway, huge thank you to Jonathan from Roll Gay Roleplay for coming and helping out with that scene. It went super smooth, it was super fun, and I could not appreciate him anymore. And right before I dive into what changes are coming for Season 3, I'm actually going to have Jonathan do a little off-the-cuff promo for Roll Gay Roleplay. So listen to that, and then stay tuned for what Season 3 changes are right around the corner.
Hey, I am Jonathan. I play Saint Eve of Laurent on Roll Gay Roleplay, RGRP. Please give us a listen. We have quite a few episodes out. Eve is a mess. Benny's amazing. We have 2 other people that are almost as good as us. And yeah, so listen to Roll Gay Roleplay.
And the moment you've all been waiting for. What is going to happen in Season 3? Well, actually, it's kind of a toss-up in the air right now, because, we really don't know.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
What I can tell you is that we have 2 new Fool characters coming into play. So our players are still the same, they're just putting on new character sheets. Also, we are finally launching our super secret project that we've been working on for several months now, because what would our fools be without villains to thwart their every move? 3 new players have been added to the AFQ cast. They will play 3 villains in a second parallel campaign that will be in the same world, happening at the same time. Heroes versus villains. This is going to be epic. Or at least super amusing, because the villains are, quite frankly, just as bad as the fools are. Aside from that, we're going to have more bonus content between episodes, more special guests like Tisha and Jonathan from Roll Gay Roleplay, plus some other podcasts. Hopefully we're going to start squeezing some people in. And we're going to have more puns. And that's really what you guys came for, right? You just needed to know that there are going to be more puns in Season 3. Like, we couldn't have run out, right? That's just not possible. We had to have more. So anyway, as always, thank you for listening. You guys are truly amazing. You've made it through 2 seasons. If you're the type of person that waits till the end of the season to binge the whole season, then I guess I'll talk to you in a couple months when Season 3 finishes. In the meantime, you can follow us on social media. Again, Twitter, Facebook, both at A Fool's Quest. Instagram is A Fool's Quest Show. Find us there to keep up with our shenanigans. If you're having a good time, and I hope you are, make sure to leave a review on either Podchaser or Apple or anywhere that you can leave a review, because it helps spread the good word of the Fools, and we need that love in our life. And remember, be safe, we love you all, stay foolish.